Tonight's story is called The Little Lion and the Quiet Roar. Let's begin. On a wide, golden savanna, where the grass grew tall and swayed gently in the evening breeze, there lived a young lion cub named Kasai. Kasai had soft golden fur, round curious eyes, and paws that were still a little too big for the rest of him. Every evening, as the sun sank low and painted the grasslands in deep orange and gold, the older lions would gather on a wide, flat rock, and one by one, let out a long, deep roar that rolled across the whole savanna. It was how the lions said good night to the world, a way of saying, gently, "We are here, and all is well." Kasai loved listening to it. But there was one small problem. Kasai could not roar. He had tried, so many times. He would puff up his little chest, open his mouth wide, and out would come a small, squeaky little sound, more like a kitten's mew than a lion's roar. The other cubs would giggle, not unkindly, but Kasai still felt his ears droop with embarrassment every time. "How am I supposed to be a real lion?" Kasai asked his mother one evening. "If I can't even roar properly?" His mother, a large, gentle lioness named Amara, settled down beside him in the tall grass and curled her tail around him warmly. "Oh, little one," she said softly, "there's more than one way to be a real lion, and more than one way to be brave." Kasai frowned a small cub frown. "But everyone else can roar, even cubs younger than me." Amara said thoughtfully. "Tell me, Kasai, do you know why we roar in the evenings?" Kasai shook his head. "It's not really about being loud," Amara said. "It's about saying good night to the savanna, gently, so all the other animals know it's time to rest and that they're safe until morning. A roar is really just a very large good night." Kasai tilted his head. "But mine doesn't sound anything like theirs." "No," Amara agreed gently. "But that doesn't mean you have nothing to say goodnight with." That evening, as the other lions gathered on the flat rock for their evening roar, Kasai hung back at the edge of the tall grass, watching quietly. One by one, the older lions lifted their heads and let out long, rolling roars that echoed across the golden hills. Kasai opened his mouth, tried his best, and out came his small, squeaky little sound again. A few of the younger cubs giggled softly. Kasai's ears drooped, and he slipped quietly away into the grass, feeling very small indeed. He wandered until he found a quiet spot beneath a wide acacia tree, and curled up there alone, watching the last colors of sunset fade into the deepening blue of evening. It was there that Amara found him, not long after. "There you are," she said gently, settling down beside him. "Feeling a bit small tonight?" Kasai nodded, his chin resting on his paws. "I'll never sound like a real lion." Amara was quiet for a moment, watching the first stars begin to blink softly overhead. "Kasai," she said gently, "come with me. I want to show you something." She led him, slow and quiet, away from the flat rock, away from the other lions, out to a gentle hill overlooking the whole savanna. From there, they could see the grasslands stretching wide and dark beneath the rising moon, dotted here and there with the soft shapes of sleeping animals. Antelope curled together, a family of elephants standing calm and still, birds tucked quietly into the branches of faraway trees. "Listen," Amara whispered. Kasai listened, and in the quiet, he began to notice small sounds all around him. The gentle rustle of grass in the breeze, the soft chirp of crickets, the distant, sleepy call of a night bird settling into its nest. "None of these sounds are loud," Amara said softly. "But listen to how calm everything feels. How safe." "I don't understand," Kasai whispered. "A roar isn't the only way to say you are safe here," Amara said gently. "Sometimes, the quietest sounds do that just as well. Sometimes, quiet is exactly what the world needs to hear." She settled down beside him, warm and soft, and Kasai leaned into her side, watching the moonlit savanna below. "You don't have to roar like everyone else, little one," Amara said. "You could find your own way to say good night to the world. It doesn't have to be loud to be true." Kasai thought about this for a long, quiet moment. Pause. Then, very softly, he opened his mouth, and instead of trying to roar, he simply hummed. A small, warm, gentle hum, low and soft, like a lullaby. Amara smiled, warm and proud. "There," she said softly. "That's yours." Kasai hummed again, a little more sure of himself this time. It wasn't loud. It wasn't like the other lion's roars at all, but it felt right. It felt like him. From that evening on, Kasai found his own quiet ritual. While the older lions gathered on the flat rock for their rolling roars, Kasai would climb the gentle hill with his mother and hum his own small, soft goodnight to the sleeping savanna below. And slowly, something rather lovely began to happen. The smaller creatures of the savanna, the field mice, the sleepy tortoises, the young birds not quite old enough to fly far, began to notice Kasai's gentle humming each evening. It wasn't loud or startling, the way the big roars sometimes were. It was soft and warm and easy to fall asleep to. One by one, they began to gather near the hill each evening just to listen. "Your humming helps us sleep, little lion," a small field mouse told him one evening. "The big roars are nice, but they're rather loud for bedtime. Yours is just right." Kasai's chest swelled, not with pride exactly, but with something warmer, the feeling of finally understanding that he had something worth giving, even if it looked different from everyone else's. From then on, every evening, as the sun sank low over the golden savanna, 2 good nights rang out across the grasslands. The older lion's roars rolled deep and rolling from the flat rock, and from the gentle hill nearby, Kasai's soft, warm hum drifted quietly over the sleepy grass, tucking the smaller creatures gently into their evening rest. Both were true. Both were brave in their own way. Because being brave, little one, doesn't always mean being the loudest or the biggest or the most like everyone else. Sometimes, being brave is simply finding your own quiet way of saying, "You are safe here." Now, high above the savanna, the stars are coming out, soft and slow. And somewhere below, a little lion is humming his gentle good night. And it's time for you to rest too. Your eyes growing heavy, heavier still, drifting off, safe and warm, just like Kasai, curled beside his mother on the quiet hill. Good night, little one. Sleep tight. I'll see you next time.